Hey everyone. In the last video, we talked about AI agents, what they are, how they are different from ChatGPT, and a little bit about multi-agent systems. If you missed it, no worries. I have dropped the link in the description. Definitely check it out later for more context. So today we will be going hands-on. We are going to build our very first AI agent, a hotel finder powered by LangGraph, OpenAI, and Pydantic. So by the end, you will give it a city, check-in day, nights, and budget, and it will return three perfectly validated hotel suggestions in clean, structured JSON. And here's what we will do today, step by step. Understanding what we are building, create a single node LangGraph agent. We will use Pydantic to validate the JSON outputs. And then we will run a quick demo. And finally, I'll give you a sneak peek of what's next, basically turning this into a multi-agent orchestrator. Okay, so before we start coding, let's quickly talk about why we are using these three together. Let's talk about LangGraph first. So think of it as workflow engine for AI agents. It lets us define nodes like little specialist functions or specialized tasks. And then we have ages, how data flows between them. So today we'll keep things super simple with just one node for hotels, but later we can easily scale by adding different nodes or agents like flights, calendars, and even an orchestrator, all without rewriting the whole thing. Then we are using Pydantic. This keeps our output clean and validated. If the model ever sends back something messy or inconsistent, this rejects it automatically. That means no broken JSON and no surprises. Then we are using OpenAI. This is the brain behind the agent. We'll run it in a structured JSON mode. So the model doesn't just give us paragraphs of text, it gives us perfectly predictable data we can trust. So, in short, LangGraph handles the flow, Pydantic enforces structure, and OpenAI does the reasoning. All right. Let's set up the project before we start coding. So here's the basic structure will look like. All of our main logic is going to be live inside hotel agent.py file, and then we'll keep our API keys in .env file, and then we'll install all of our dependencies from the requirement.txt file. Oh, and by the way, if you want to follow along step by step, I've already pushed this entire project to GitHub. The link is in the description. Just clone the repo, drop your API key into the env file, install the dependencies, and you are good to go. All right. Quick setup step before we dive into the code. Go to the platform openai.com and sign in and create your API key if you haven't already. So I've also provided some steps if you want to use the OpenAI keys. Yeah. I'm using GPT-5 Nano for this demo because it's super fast and affordable, but feel free to use any model you have access to, like GPT-4o, GPT 3.5, or even Claude if you have wired that up. Okay, let's then get started. Okay, so I have my code in the Visual Studio. So first, here you can see this is as mentioned, the main code lies here in hotelagent.py file. So first, let's bring in our all dependencies. We use .env to load secrets from .env file automatically. And then we have Pydantic to define and validate structured outputs as mentioned. And then we have LangGraph to manage the workflow between nodes. So this setup keeps our app secure, clean, and scalable. So now let's go to the schema part. So this schema is basically the contract between us and the model. So basically it must return exactly three hotel suggestions, like the prices and totals have to be valid, and everything comes back in a predictable structure. Thanks to again Pydantic, if OpenAI returns invalid JSON, we don't crash. Pydantic rejects it automatically. Yeah. Okay, now this is the part where we are defining the shared graph state. So this is the shared state in LangGraph. Think of it like a data backpack the agent carries through the graph. We put in inputs like city, dates, night, and budget. The hotel node processes it, and outcomes validated hotel suggestions. Now, let's build the hotel agent node. So this is where all the magic is happening. So we send a structured request to OpenAI. Let me just increase this. Okay. So what we are doing is we are sending a structured request to OpenAI, and then Pydantic is basically validating the request, and then it's validating the response basically, and then we return a new state with perfectly clean hotel suggestions. So, and I am using as mentioned earlier, GPT-5 Nano, but you can switch to GPT-4 Mini or any model you prefer to. So this is basically the place where exactly I have mentioned the model, and this is where it is giving a schema validated output to us. Now, this is the part where we are building the graph. So we here wire everything together using LangGraph. We define a simple graph, which is like starting first and then the hotel node, and then we are ending it. So right now we have only one node, but in the next video, we will add flights, calendars, or the payment nodes. Is as simple as dropping them into the graph. So LangGraph basically handles all of this orchestration for us. Now let's run the agent. So this is how we'll run the agent. We'll take the inputs basically. So let's have a quick CLI demo so we can test the inputs easily. So I can type in city, dates, nights, and budget, and then the agent will give me back the three structured hotel suggestions. So let's try that out. Um, okay, so this is how I will run it. Okay, so it's asking now for a city. So let me just say Paris, the default one, then a date, and then nights three, and then budget, let's say 1500. So you can see here some tracing. I have added some tracing here. So let's give it a few more seconds. Let me just increase the terminal size here. Okay, here you go. So perfectly validated, structured hotel data in seconds. No messy passing, no broken JSON, just clean results. As you can see here, yeah, different different output or different attributes it has given as we have defined it. Yes, so that is pretty much it. Like very quickly building a very small agent. So let me just quickly go back. So yes, so this is basically just the beginning. In the next video, we'll evolve this into a multi-agent orchestrator. So one agent finds hotel, another books flight, and a third manages your calendar. And then we'll have an orchestrator which will coordinate everything seamlessly. Yes. And also, I would like to say that you can just quickly clone the repo, simple hotel agent line graph, and for which links is in the description. And don't forget to subscribe because next time we're taking this single node agent and turning it into a multi-agent orchestration system. Thank you and see you next time.